it's all in me. I can be anything that I wanna be. Don't consider me a minority.
Reflect and Strengthen is a young women's collective for women from the urban working class communities of Boston, ages 14 through 30.
I can be anything that I wanna be. Don't consider me a minority. Ladies, help me out if you agree.
Each session, Reflect and Strengthen has an open house to recruit new members. This time, Press Pass TV was there to talk to members about how somebody can join and what being a member of RNS means to them.
RNS to me is a space where I could come and talk about my issues and get advice for it, and also like it's basically showing me how to grow up as a woman in this society, and it's helping me to network with other people so that I can make my dreams and goals come true.
Reflect and Strengthen is definitely an important part of any kind of community. It's a place where women feel powerful and learn about the powers that they do have within. It's a place where they can bond and have a sisterhood that doesn't necessarily exist on the streets, unfortunately.
I was running around doing some reckless things. I thought nobody really cared. You know, I grew up in a household where there's like 6 of us, but I'm the last one, so it's really like everybody else gets taken care of. So with meeting these women and meeting the different environment in which they rehearse with and talk to the people in which they talk to and they learn from, I was able to reinvent who I am.
And in terms of my work, it's a place to constantly be working on myself so that I can do the work better.
Well, my day job and my night job and my weekend job and my life job, I guess, is at the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. And we do some really heavy work at the Peace Institute, so I need an outlet for that, and I need support and I need allies to do that work.
To me, RNS is kind of like a hub and a network of young political women in Boston.
Our Sisters Behind the Wall is a program that works with young women, right now young women who are transitioning out of DYS, and so we do workshops once a week with teenage women who are coming out of lockup and do healing work and political education.
The task force is an organizing project that was born inside of RNS, and we spent years building the capacity to be a space that could lead that type of project, and now it is a group of stakeholders who are all dedicated to ending racial disparities in the juvenile justice system and ending our reliance on detention to quote-unquote rehabilitate young people. We don't believe that it works, and we believe that those young people belong in our communities with us.
Community Healing Circles is a collaboration of Reflect and Strengthen and other community leaders, and it's where we come together to tell our stories and heal from trauma. The reality is that as people from and living in the urban neighborhoods of Boston, we're plagued by violence, and it's a real part of our lives, and it impacts us whether or not we realize it, whether or not we choose to acknowledge it, and we need to be able to share our stories.
Right now, Reflect and Strengthen is in a financial crisis. Our entire country is in some semblance of a financial crisis. Our members are some of the most marginalized people in society. We're working class, we're poor, we're women, and when you couple all those things together, there's less opportunities.
There's been various times where we've had lower funding than usual, or where we had to cut back our budget because we didn't get a grant that we expected, or we didn't get various grants that we expected. This is the worst off that we've ever been.
With staff and youth that are members of RNS, Press Pass TV knows firsthand how important Reflect and Strengthen is to the Boston community.
I think Reflect and Strengthen contributes to the Boston community in a really big way, that it's one of the only outlets for young women specifically.
The mission of ours is very important. I think they fill a void. I don't know of very many other organizations that do this type of work, and that's why I do my best to support RNS, not just by attending events that they hold, but also by making sure that we can contribute, me and my wife, whatever we can afford to contribute to RNS, and we try to do that regularly.
For us not to get out of this means for RNS not to exist, and it's hurtful to think about the impact that would have on our community.
Yeah, people need community. People need this. As far as like just coming and being able to talk to someone and just tell how you feel.
I actually been in the works trying to start my own version of RNS just because I'm so inspired by this group. I realized I can't be a member of RNS myself, so I'm trying to support them as much as I can while also trying to start my own version.
Reflect and Strengthen is not just a drop-in center. It's not just a youth group. We're connected to each other. We are on the phone with each other at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're supporting each other in all the different ways that we live in this world.
Without Reflect and Strengthen, my life would be different because I would be in more trouble like I was before I joined. I would be doing the wrong things instead of going down the right path to do what I need to do. I wouldn't be going to college now. I wouldn't have graduated high school. I would have been on drugs or in the streets or in jail like the rest of my friends.
It's really heartbreaking to think about a time when members or people in the community won't have a space like this in their lives anymore.
I can be anything that I want to be. Don't consider me a minority. Ladies, help me out.